Well, welcome everyone to 1OC's Skills-Based Volunteer Networking Meeting. I'm Richard Ward, Chairman, I should say, Chairman of the Volunteerism Advisory Council and a 1OC board member. Like all of you, I'm a skills-based volunteer. And on behalf of 1OC and all of my council colleagues, I want to thank you for joining us for this interactive program, a program focused on you, a generous community of skills-based volunteers. We hope that today you continue to learn about all of the things that we are doing to facilitate more volunteer opportunities and rewarding experiences for a talented group of people who want to help Orange County nonprofits better accomplish their missions. But we also want to learn from you, learn what you want from this group and how 1OC can better serve you. Let me share a little bit before we get into this about my co-presenters today. First is Stephanie Cotillier. As a founder of and CEO of Integris Women, Stephanie is paving the way for the next generation of conscious leaders. She's on a mission to inspire, educate, and empower women to create their own purpose-driven futures through a supportive, forward-thinking, and compassionate community. She is a recipient of the 2020 World-Changing Woman in Conscious Business Award by Conscious Company Media for her local and global sustainable impact work. Stephanie is passionate about building communities and curating connections through the art of creating experiential, authentic, and safe learning environments for all participants to thrive. Kelly Shannon started at 1OC 2 years ago. She is the manager of the Retired Senior Volunteer Program and Emergency Volunteer Center. She also assists with skills-based volunteers by coordinating their placement into nonprofits. Her passion and commitment is supporting volunteers as they accelerate nonprofit success within Orange and San Bernardino counties. Kelly's looking forward to connecting with the new skills-based volunteer network. Now let me give you a little sense of what we'll be doing over the next hour or so. Stephanie is going to kick us off with an interactive opportunity to meet your peers. And then Kelly will come on board to share a little bit about 1OC's board placement opportunities, as well as our upcoming Meet the Experts program. And she'll be looking for your help with that as well. Stephanie will return for a new program that will be aimed at learning a little bit more about how this network can better serve you all. And then we'll hear from representatives from School on Wheels about their need for your help. And finally, we'll wrap things up with a couple of closing comments and takeaways that you can use after today. So with that all said, Stephanie, are you ready to get started?
Yes, I am. We can stop share. Do we want to do this announcement first?
Yeah, just real quick, folks, if you're not already on our Mobilize platform, make sure you connect. I just put the link in the chat so that you can stay up to date with resources and upcoming opportunities. So every opportunity you'll see today will be put in there as well as some other announcements that are going to be relevant to you as a skill-based volunteer. So that's in the chat. If you're not signed up, go ahead and click that and you can go ahead and join the network.
Beautiful. I know we had a slide for this, but it's okay. I don't want to share the slide. I'd rather look at all your faces. So here's what's going to happen, everyone. First, thank you for joining. We're so excited to have you. I'm going to kick off with a very quick 5 minutes. How long? Oh, this was your test, everyone. They said it was going to be interactive. All right. So you got to unmute, you got to speak up, or you can just do some fun visuals. Use these cool reaction buttons, right? Like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. Or yes, Stephanie, I feel the love. All right. So 5-minute breakout rooms where there's one question. So we're going to round table 30 seconds or so each. You're just going to answer this one question. Are we ready for the question? Thumbs up. Why do you love volunteering? Hopefully that's an easy one. So why do you love volunteering? So this is like your introduction. You can say, hi, my name is, and here is why I love volunteering. So keep it short and sweet. I would love to hear your long narrative, story, lifelong process of why volunteering is just so meaningful to you, but we'll say that for another day. Sound good? So 30 seconds, hi, my name is, and this is why I love volunteering. 5-minute breakout groups, let's see. It's going to automatically put you in here. I will put little broadcast messages to say, hey, you got 2 minutes. Hey, you got 60 seconds to close. And then we're going to bring you back. Are we ready? Are we excited to meet at least one new person? Yes? Thumbs up? Hearts? All right. Have fun. We'll see you in 5 minutes. And I heard Frank. We'll record back and bring Susanna in. Well, Natalie, meet Sue while we're in the, this is like the behind the scenes non-breakout room, breakout room. I love it. Susanna's part of us now
Hi,
too.
Sue. It's nice to meet you.
And in a couple seconds.
Nice to meet you as well.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Be honest, who met someone just absolutely amazing? Raise your hand, show some love for them. You're like, yeah. And if they're not raising your hand, be like, excuse me, I am amazing. Thank you. And you can just go from there. So I'm going to hand it back to Kelly, I believe. She's going to walk us through the next steps.
Thank you very much. Get my notes going here. For those of you that are new to our meetings here, I want to let you know we have been presenting over the last couple of meetings different projects that you as the skills-based volunteer can actually help out with. From the last meeting, we were able to actually connect with one of our skills-based volunteers, Caitlin Mullen, and she actually is now going to be doing an 8-week digital marketing project with United Way. They have a website up that they are doing, and Caitlin is going to help carry the project through for this 8 weeks during the summer. I'm so proud to know that one of our skills-based volunteers has connected that way, and she'll start on the 28th and go through the end of August. So thank you all. We're going to be presenting more projects, but we're very, very proud to show that we've already connected out there in the community, and Caitlin was our first to get out into a project. So we're very, very happy about seeing that kind of progress going. I know it's a very wonderful thing. Next slide, please, Kevin. One of the other things that we want to present and put into your mind is we've got 4 now possibilities, opportunities for the for board of directors positions. I'm going to go over just in brief on every one of the 4. We only have a few minutes here with each one, but I'm going to give you a quick idea. What Kevin is putting into the chat is, if this is of interest to you, that link will take you onto Career Plug, and it gives you a lot more detail, much more information about what the board member would need to do, what's expected, and the qualifications that, in this case, the Wooden Floor would be looking for. I don't know if you know of the Wooden Floor. They are been around for ages. Wooden Floor is seeking to grow its board of directors. They want a specific skill set, including guidance, planning, and cultivation of community resources. They are right here in Santa Ana, so they're a very local type of group. Just so you know, a couple of the details, what they are looking for, they would require you to attend 4 board meetings a year. They do have an annual board retreat also, and then ask that the board person would be placed on 1 committee or task force throughout the year. And one of the things that is kind of new, or at least everybody needs to know, is that board members would be asked to do donations. So for Wooden Floor, they are looking for a typical personal donation of about $10,000 a year. They can usually work out. If you have other sponsors that would be part of that $10,000, they would be able to talk to you about that. But Wooden Floor is a tremendous organization. If you're interested, please check that chat box and note down the link. Each one of these is going to have a different link because it'll take you directly to that particular opportunity. On the next slide, Kevin. Thank you. Arts Orange County. This has been a group that is now very active. As we know, the arts field became absolutely devastated over the last year with COVID. They are now actively out looking for board members. So they actually are looking for more than 1 at this point. We would love to know if anybody has an interest in supporting that arts in Orange County. They basically would be acting as ambassador for arts, Orange County arts sector. That's fundraisers, community connectors. That's one of their strongest points. And they want strategic leaders, meaning that the talents you bring in the door, they would very much want you to be able to connect out there within the community. They have bi-monthly meetings, so it's a little bit different than the Wooden Floor. They currently are virtual. They would want you to participate in 1 or more of their annual events. Their minimum personal gift level is at $5,000 per year. They also are somebody, though, that can go ahead and do kind of a combination of doing sponsorships. Please, if this is anything that would interest you, or I'm going to impress again, if you know somebody else who might be a perfect person for Arts Orange County, please just take note of that link in the chat box, and that'll take you straight on to Career Plug. I can do the next one, Kevin. This one and the following are actually brand new. We didn't have these actually, the details for these two board opportunities at our last meeting. So the Working Wardrobes group is looking for one particular board member. They are very specific about what they need. They have a very talented board of directors currently, but what they're actually looking for is somebody who's very mission focused. They need to be fundraisers, also strategic connectors. And what they really are looking for is somebody who is a Santa Ana community ambassador, and they really do prefer bilingual. On their board of directors, it's something that they need that to be the connector point. So if you know anybody yourself or anybody else who might be an appropriate fit, Working Wardrobes is a tremendous group run by Jerry Rosen, one of the most, I think, respected CEOs out there. Because she's actually going to be retiring at the end of the year. So it'll be interesting to see who all is going to be taking over. Be a tremendous time to be on the board. Again, there's another link, a new link for Working Wardrobes in the chat. If you're appropriate for this, please take note of that. Or if you know somebody else who might be an appropriate person, again, a real Santa Ana community ambassador, they would prefer bilingual if that's possible. They would love somebody also who's younger, kind of bringing that community up and coming. So they would love that as an interest too, but happy to talk with everybody they need. So that's our Working Wardrobes opportunity. And last but not least, this is one that a lot of people have been waiting for. Ronald McDonald is looking for a member for their board of trustees. This is a group that is very passionate and very heartfelt about what they do for their community. They are looking for leaders, but they want to really understand the talent and the treasure is going to promote the Ronald McDonald House of Orange County. What that means to them is that if there is any of the people who are interested in this position who actually have had experience, either themselves, a family member, or a friend who actually may have been engaged at the Ronald McDonald House for health reasons, they would love to know that that passion may have been lit for Ronald McDonald House that way. They find that somebody who's been through the program and understands that kind of benefit that the Ronald McDonald House can bring to a family makes a tremendous board member. So they are very unique in what they want, and they really would love somebody who's got that specific engagement going. They have a number of different meetings. Their board of trustees meets every other month. So they're typically January, March, July, September, and their gift commitment is $5,000 a year. It can be prorated too. This is a group that I have really loved being able to get to know quite a bit. I would love somebody from within our group to, if they yourself are comfortable doing the board members, interested in this board membership, please take the career plug link that's in the chat right now. Otherwise, if you know somebody, please, we would love to be connected. They can always reach out to me. Kevin, in fact, could I ask you to put in the chat box my email? Anybody who needs that or has just simple questions, please reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions before you might. And last, if you can change to one more screen, the next slide for me, Kevin. Thanks. Here's my ask for the evening. And Natalie, I'm going to particularly maybe focus on you. We are going to have at the end of June, June 30th, we're going to have a Meet the Experts panel. It's our first time we're going to be presenting a Meet the Experts panel. We have asked our 26 sites that has the that are our AmeriCorps sites to come in and bring as a nonprofit what their greatest challenge is in the digital media, digital marketing, social media area. This is something for nonprofits that they want to be able to dive in and ask specific questions. And we're going to have 26 different organizations. So the questions may range across a broad spectrum. The first half hour of the presentation would be our experts just giving best practices. They want to know what's going on out there, kind of the hot tips of what they should be bringing back to their organizations. But the second 30 minutes is all about that organization being able to ask their questions. The goal of this meeting is really to allow the nonprofits that ability to bring back a nugget that they actually go back and put into practice right then and there after our Meet the Experts panel is over. They may want to and may very well need to reach out for some questions. So we would want to be assured that you are comfortable at least answering questions after the Meet the Experts panel. because I would think as they begin to implement some of these changes that they want to, there's going to be more questions that would come up. We would love our skills-based volunteers to be able to fill this one. I've got one spot left that I do need. If anybody's interested, please, would you put your name in the chat box for me? I will reach out to you right away. My email is right there on the screen. The other thing too for this to do is if you're interested at all, or excuse me, if somebody else you know might be an appropriate fit, please would you take my email address and note that down? I would love to get anybody who's got this good interest of having best practices of digital marketing and social media experience and have them come into it's 1 hour that we're asking for, and you'd be a hero at the end of the hour, because these are nonprofits that really need and want to be able to develop this digital marketing and social media. So it's a big ask tonight. I need one more person. So if anybody here is interested, I would love that. Anyhow, so thank you. That's my part of the presentation right now. And I think I throw it back to Stephanie at this point.
Yes. So Kevin, can we actually stop sharing? I'm going to give some context and then we can bring this back up. Perfect. All right, everyone. So what I love is I also, just like you, I'm a skill-based volunteer with 10C. And as a group, we've come together with this vision in mind, really around two simple concepts, community and connection. And we really wanted to bring these two elements, community and connection, to you, to support you as a skill-based volunteer here in Orange County, to get connected with others who have a similar heart, a similar passion for wanting to volunteer. That's why we kicked off with why do you love volunteering, just to kind of get us into the mode and the zone. But really with this vision in mind of bringing a community together of skill-based volunteers, we wanted to bring it to you to help co-create what this could look like. And so what I would love to invite us to do next is we're going to go into two separate breakout rooms. There'll be about 5 or so of us in each of the rooms. And I would love for you to share, what do you need from this community? So our vision is to build a community of people just like you who have a passion for volunteering, who want to get involved, who, I don't know if you came to our last event just like this, where Kelly just shared some amazing opportunities to take action in the community, right? So these are some of the things we're presenting to you, but we really want to hear from you. What would you like to see from what this community could and might look like moving forward? Is it, I would love, speed networking. I would love to just meet other people. Maybe I want to learn more from the nonprofits. Maybe I also want to develop my skills as a volunteer. What might some of those ideas be? So the actual question that we had up on that slide, if you want to bring it back up, Kevin, was how would you like for the skill-based SBV skill-based volunteer, how would you like for this community to benefit you? Now, what I mean by benefit is if you think of yourself maybe personally and professionally, what would make sense? I want, of course, to create win-win in value creation, right? So for you to be showing up like today for an hour of your time, how can we support you? How can we create amazing things together as a community? So by benefit, it could look like maybe it's skills that you're learning, maybe it's connections, but I really want to hear from you so that we can crowdsource some ideas that we can then turn around and take action on. The other second part to that question is, what else would you like to see? So just like you've already experienced, we're coming equipped with volunteering opportunities for you to say yes to and or forward to a friend, right? You're also at the end of this, you're going to be hearing from an actual nonprofit who's going to share other opportunities for you. So that's something new that we're doing. But what else? What other ideas do you have? What would you want to get so excited about showing up at 4:30 for a call, right? Like it's going to get you so amped because you're like, I know I'm going to show up because I'm going to meet XYZ or I'm going to learn XYZ, right? So this is the essence of what we want to discuss in the breakout rooms. Now, let me help give a little bit of clarity on how we're going to run these breakout rooms. I'm going to give you about 10 to 12 minutes. Let's see what time it is. 5. I want to keep us on time. So actually, I'm going to give you exactly about 12 minutes in your breakout room. And in your room, same as when we did the first one, we're going to round table. And I would love for each of you to just share what comes to mind. What are some of the things that you would like to see from this community? And how can it benefit you? What are you showing up here for at the end of the day? Because if, I'm not a mind reader, But if you can tell me exactly what you need, us as a cohort can come together and actually make that happen with and for you. I'm going to take a quick pause because I want to give voice to some of my amazing colleagues here. Richard, Kevin, Kelly, anything you wanted to add before I give context to sentiment of breakouts?
For me, I'm so sorry, Richard, go
Go
right
ahead.
ahead. Just for me, with the excitement that I have on all of the projects, I would love to know if there's something that's not working, why, if we could kind of fine tune projects to where we're fitting better as to what you need out there. I would love that. These projects are really important to our nonprofits. And if we can tweak them and make it a little bit easier for you to fit, that's what I would love to know.
Thanks, Kelly. Richard, you were going to say something?
No, I think you had hit it pretty well on the nose. We just really want to see what your ideas are and how we can be helping you a little bit more in this area. And if there's other things that you want, other things that we're not thinking of that might be important to make this a more rewarding experience and help you feel like you're part of a community. That's really our goal.
Yes. So I'm going to restate really quick. The vision is we would love to create a community of skill-based volunteers. But in order to create a community that's going to add value to you, we would love to know, what do you want to see? How do you want to benefit? So as I'm talking, I'm buying you time to think of yourself personally and professionally, and what might some of those things look like? So 12 minutes, I'm going to put you into the breakout room. In that 12 minutes, don't worry, you're going to have some mini facilitators in the rooms with you. And so I'm looking to Richard, Kevin, and Kelly. They're going to help guide the conversation. And really, we're just going to crowdsource, so throw ideas around. And then what I'd love is when you see that 5-minute notification that's going to pop up, I'm going to give you a 5-minute, a 2-minute, and then you got the 60 seconds. Don't hit the 60-second button. Let yourself come back in. So 5-minute, 2-minute, 60 seconds. But when you see that 5 minutes, I want you to pick one person in your group just to share some of those high-level ideas back with all of us. Because one group's going to have awesome ideas, the other group's going to have other awesome ideas. So let's bring those back to the main room and we'll create some space to debrief from there. Do we have any questions or is anything unclear? No? All right. So my friends, 12 minutes. I'm going to add 12 minutes to the clock. You're going to see a countdown clock. Don't worry, I'm managing it on the background. And then you will get a 60-second notification. I'll be popping into support as well. So once again, those questions are, for my face, how can the skill-based volunteer community benefit you? What would you like to see? And as Kelly also shared, what's not working and why? All right. See you all in 12 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Now, I was lucky enough to jump into 2 rooms, so I saw everything. So I know there were amazing conversations. Thank you all for participating. I want to create space just for 5 quick minutes. I would love to hear just highlight reel of what came up in your groups. Let's kick off with, let's see. I'm going to go with room 2 first. Kelly.
Oh, I didn't even know which room I was in. Okay, we had great ideas coming out. Basically, that the community may have projects that one OC isn't aware of, and that our skills base could be bringing projects in to us and really enabling our group to connect that way and to have a lot more value for what they are bringing in the door. Instead of us obviously having to bring things all the time, it would be wonderful to know that you know of something out there and bring it in. And don't be hesitant to contact nonprofits. Even if your talent might not fit, you don't know. Ask and see, I've got this talent and, could I do something for you? I've got the idea that I would love to help this group. You never know what can come out of it. Then when they want to, the networking and communication is important too. I have seen for myself already, so many volunteers want to, or have that idea they want to volunteer, simply don't know where to go to connect. Our skills-based group can be the one to kind of go and take that connection farther. And then basically kind of state what you want to learn, present your skills to a nonprofit, and then kind of open up to more of what you may be able to take in. It was very interesting conversation in our room. I have to say thank you to everybody who was there.
Amazing. Thank you to Kelly and team. let's turn it now to room 1. We had Kevin, Richard, Shaheen, Susanna, and Natalie. Your spokesperson.
Don't know if we elected someone, but I know
You didn't volunteer anyone? What?
we didn't. I know we dropped the ball. Shaheen, I know you had a lot of good thoughts. Richard and I don't need to share any kind of highlights you want to throw out there. Put you on the spot. I voluntold. You don't have to if you don't want to, but
I forgot everything I said, but one of them was that it would be nice to have, I just forgot. What did I say?
You'd like to connect with other,
Loss.
you wanted to connect with other volunteers, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Connect with other volunteers. It would be great to be able to create a project around nonprofits' needs and use maybe a team of us and do consulting to raise up the nonprofit. And it would be great to have case studies, et cetera, or maybe that was the last one, to look at how we're approaching nonprofits and their needs in specific ways. If it's marketing, how do we do it? If it's fundraising, how do we do it? I mean, eventually it'd be fun to have a group of consultants, you know, from our little group go out and address key pressing issues for nonprofits. That would be cool.
I love the concept of the case study, even as a skill-based volunteer. Like, hey, this is my story. I came in, this is the impact I had, and we all get to learn and connect from that story. Stories are so powerful. Great ideas.
And then just being able to network and know other people who feel the same way about raising up the community. So.
Beautiful.
And I think Natalie suggested that making sure that we have good follow-up from the meetings and what comes out of it and the opportunities and so forth get shared with everybody after the fact so that they can follow up and pursue those ideas. That's another way the group could be very helpful.
Yes. Well, amazing job, team. You've already come together. You're co-creating already as a community. This is exciting and amazing. You're doing the work. So guess what? You already acted as a skill-based volunteer. Amazing. Look how easy it is, right? You just show up, be yourself, have fun. It's a good old time. I am going to now, so I do want to do a quick summary before I hand it to Kelly. All of your ideas are valued. And we really want you to know that we're listening and we're taking notes. And that's why I'm having you kind of share in the big group, the highlight reels. That's why we had our amazing co-facilitators in the rooms with you taking notes, because what we're going to do next is take action. So we really wanted your voice to be heard so that we can implement that in the next steps. So plan on seeing these ideas come to life. So keep showing up. Please make sure to remind your friends too to come next time, because we're going to continue to co-create. This is a brand new initiative. I know, Ariel, you were like, I don't know if this already exists. All of this is brand new, my friend. Like we're co-creating as we go. So you're right here on the ground floor with us. And so thank you for sharing your ideas. We will be taking action on them. And we're going to be building as we go. So we really, really appreciate the feedback that you've shared. I'm now going to turn it over to Kelly, I believe, to facilitate the next section. And Kelly, you're on mute. I need a sign for that. You're not alone, Kelly. But
You would think after a year and a half of doing this, we would all know about the mute, but you just don't. Kevin, can I have you pull up the next slide for School on Wheels?
yep, for sure. I just found the mute sign too. It's right. That's what we got to use, Stephanie.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
Oh my
let me
gosh,
pull this
how
up
fun.
for you. All right, there we go.
Okay. I'm jokingly going to tell the girls here tonight that I've stolen your first slide. Just to let everybody know about School on Wheels. The mission for School on Wheels has never wavered. They are there to enhance educational opportunities for children who are experiencing homeless from the ages of kindergarten through 12th grade. Their goal is to shrink the gaps in learning and provide them with the highest level of education possible. What we're here to present tonight is to ask all of you to listen to what the need is from School on Wheels. They got mentoring and tutoring that they do, are looking for volunteers. Just like with our board of directors opportunities, I'm going to ask that if this might not be appropriate for you, if you know somebody who would be a great volunteer for this group, we'd love to have you connect. So as you go through and make sure that I'll put my email back on the chat box, and anybody who you are wanting to connect, please have them reach out to me. We've got two wonderful people here from School on Wheels, starting with Genesis Torres. She is in the North Orange County. She's their volunteer support coordinator. Experienced in domestic violence advocacy, early education from 0 to 3-year-old, early childhood intervention, and after-school programming. Genesis brings a lot to the table, so she knows what she's talking about. And then we have Ariel Woodhams. She's the South Orange County Volunteer Support Coordinator. And she's been with the organization since December of 2020 and has experience working with families in shelter settings and is passionate about closing that education gap. So thank you girls very much for being here, and can't wait to hear what you have to show us.
Thank you so much for having us, Kelly. And Kevin, did you want us to share our screen, or do you just want to keep it up there and we can kind of?
If you have it, that'd be great. That way you can go, but I also have it. It's up to you.
Sure, I can. Or Genesis, did you want to share it? I can do it. I think. One sec. Yeah, a year and a half, and we're still not.
Teamwork. I was just joking the same thing.
Oh, Genesis got it. Look at that teamwork. Okay. Okay.
So yes, this is who we are. We are School on Wheels. Kind of just the background behind School on Wheels is back in 1993, we had one of our amazing team leaders, Agnes, who kind of fostered the heart of education. She actually started off in the beaches of Venice area, catering and tutoring many of the homeless students that were living there in the area. And from there, you know, she spoke to friends and just kind of expanded into what we are now.
Genesis, you're just a little bit light on your volume. Can you speak up a little bit for us?
Might be my microphone.
Okay.
Is that a bit better?
A little.
Oh, pretty light.
It's very light. Speak loudly. We'll get you that one.
Got it.
So some statistics on the students that we work with. All the students that we work with are experiencing homelessness in some way. And we know that students experiencing homelessness are 2 times as likely to score poorly on standardized tests in math and reading, 3 times more likely to be placed in special education programs, 4 times more likely to drop out of school, and 9 times more likely to have to repeat grades. So those are some pretty staggering statistics. And that's where our work comes in to try and close that gap.
Our goal here at School on Wheels is to shrink the gaps in students' education, provide the highest level of education possible, also equality when it comes to education. Our program consists of a support system for students at a time of great stress and fear. Many of our students are bouncing from houses. So school, though it's very important, is not necessarily the biggest need, since most of the dire needs are what's struggling at first. So we as tutors kind of help provide that extra support for the students, extra social emotional support, as well as just a mentoring support for students.
And as I was saying, all of our students are experiencing homelessness in some way. So that looks different for every student. Some of them live in emergency shelters, which is like a more short-term homeless shelter, transitional shelters, which are more long-term. We do have some students who are living in foster group homes. Some live in their vehicles, in hotels or motels, and some of them even live on the street. And we do serve most of Southern California. So you can kind of see that yellow area there that's highlighted is where we serve. And we work with 408 partner sites all across Southern California, covering 2,500 square miles. And we also have a learning center on Skid Row where students can come in. Unfortunately, it's closed right now due to COVID, but students could come in and receive tutoring and education services at that center as well.
Different ways that we help. We not only just provide academic tutoring, but we also provide tutoring year-round, so even throughout the summer, but also free backpacks, school supplies, scholarship programs, which would go for hobbies that are maybe more extracurricular, like music, art, sewing, sports. We also provide positive role model and mentorship, customized curriculum to help overcome learning gaps that are specific to each grade, referrals and additional support for families. So we're also holistic in the sense that we work with families to provide different information that might pertain to them, whether it's housing, help with individualized education plans, stuff like that. We have a digital learning access and digital literacy curriculum available for all of our tutors to build their support on, build their knowledge, and also different skills that might pertain for your student as well that you would like to learn. We have that available. And also we have our ABC literacy program, which is customized for individual students, mainly from kindergarten through 4, to really build that foundation of literacy from the beginning.
So I wanted to share a quick little insert about one of our RSVP tutors from 10C. His name is Chris, and he has tutored with School on Wheels since 2016. I've had the pleasure of working with him for the past 6 months since I started, and he's incredible. I listed a couple of the things he's done with School on Wheels, but he started tutoring at an emergency shelter in Santa Ana. And then actually when he transitioned to the elementary school, he helped set up some tutoring at a shelter in Orange. So he was really from the ground up with that, was willing to transition to virtual tutoring, which is where we're at now. And he continuously helps us with supply drives, community presentations. He helps us with fundraising. That's actually a picture from, I want to say 2 weeks ago, the Ann Teeter Day of Service at UC Irvine. He actually works at UCI, so he oversaw that event. And those are all school supplies that him and his colleagues collected from alumni for our students. So really just a great advocate. We're so thankful for our RSVP tutors.
Some of our volunteer requirements that we currently have at the moment, we're currently seeking online volunteers, not in person yet, but online, who are 18 and older, live in California, have stable high-speed internet access, have access to a computer with a webcam, and also are comfortable tutoring in a digital environment.
And then in addition to those skills, we ask that the tutors possess one or more of these skills. So experience tutoring or mentoring. I think a lot of times when we talk about our mission, people assume it's all academics, but the mentorship is such a large part of what we do. Experience teaching life skills or social emotional learning, especially for our high schoolers, we really focus on life skills with them. A background in literacy, knowledge of IEPs, a background in teaching, psychology, child development, or social work. And then fluency in both English and Spanish is something that we are really looking for right now. We have a big need for bilingual tutors, not only to tutor in Spanish, but also just to communicate with families, since we do have a lot of Spanish-speaking families accessing our services.
Our application process at the moment looks like you would first set up or fill out your online application with us, and you'll sign up for a virtual introduction where we'll touch base on all of our programs, what School on Wheels is about, how we function, how we work. You would complete a 15-minute phone interview where we, as in volunteer support coordinators such as Ariel and myself, will go ahead and call you, kind of get more in depth of your skill sets, who you are, learn about your availability. The skill set's really important because though we mainly work off academics, we also want to know what specific skills or interests, hobbies that you have, because sometimes we could connect with students more on that aspect and then slowly build in school. So for example, I have a student whose video games is like the way into his heart. So finding someone that is very knowledgeable in video games, understands them, likes them, and then slowly ease up into tutoring is a great introduction into building that relationship with the student. The next step would be to complete a life scan. And then once you're approved, a coordinator such as Ariel and myself will welcome you to the School on Wheels team and begin the matching process. As of now, the process will take approximately about 2 to 3 weeks to get you started up with the student.
And then we just wanted to share a quick 2-minute video, one of our success stories. I know that we're going a little over time, so I understand if anybody has to step out, but we just wanted to share this with you. It's really impactful and sweet.
Just realized I have to put on the sound, so let me quickly fix that. There we are.
So I'm Jessica and
I'm Nicholas. I am I'm 10 years old. When I grow up, I want to be an athlete and then I want to be the president of the United States.
Unfortunately, the coronavirus also led him not to be in school or even any type of physical programs.
My tutor is Juan or Patty or even Millen.
They reached out and said, hey, we will provide computers and laptops. They provided us even a car charger, anything we need to make sure his foundation in learning is solid.
I can see you right now.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I just love it. I get to learn more and I don't have to be lonely.
We are so grateful to have you in our lives.
They make learning fun again.
I feel happy. I feel happy as ever. Like, this moment in my life is, I can't express it.
For everyone who's a part of School on Wheels, behind scenes, there's a thank you out there we want to give you that just doesn't exist. I feel like tears can't even explain it. It's because what you guys do is more than just giving. You guys do so much for these children. I love my son. School on Wheels provided something that I wasn't able to provide him, and you guys gave him hope when I didn't have the space to and we are just so thankful for all of it. In such a dark tunnel, for giving us light.
Oh, you're making my girls. Awesome.
So I'm Jessica.
Perfect. And then we included our emails, and those are both our cell phone numbers. So if texting is your preferred way of communicating, feel free to text us. And then we included the link directly to apply. I'm sure Kelly can also give you more information. And if anyone has any questions, we're happy to stick around for a few minutes to answer them. So thank you so much for the opportunity to present, Kelly. We really appreciate it. And thank you all for coming.
That was just outstanding. Thank you so much. It's lovely, lovely. That video got us all at the end. That was too sweet. Thank you. We will make sure that this is all information that gets out to the whole volunteer network. We'll make sure that we get follow-up, and anybody that does show their interest, we'll send them right over to you. Okay. Thank you
Awesome.
guys
Thank
so
you.
much for that. Back to you, Stephanie. Thank you.
Actually, I'm gonna hand it to Richard. Yes.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. Thanks for the presentation there, Ariel and Genesis. That was wonderful. We appreciate you sharing so much with us. And thank all of you for participating in and wanting to help make our community better. We appreciate it very much. Your time and efforts are so valuable to ONEOC and all the nonprofits that we serve. We would encourage you to be on the Mobilize app. I know we talked about that in our breakout. It's important to be on there to learn about all the opportunities and to get connected, perhaps set up some one-on-one meetings with other skills-based volunteers. You never know how valuable those can be, so please take advantage of that. If you haven't already done so, please register on ONEOC's skills-based volunteer website to get registered and understand where some of the opportunities lie as well. So please do that. But we thank you for participating today, and we hope you have a real good evening. Thanks very much. We'll see you next time.
Bye all.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Genesis.